Hey, what's up, guys? So I was actually just checking out this motorcycle install over here that's getting radar, laser, and audio installed. They were actually just walking me through the install, and some of the things that they're doing with this install are actually really impressive. I'm actually here at Systems Unlimited right now, back for my third trip, actually planning the install on my car, and they've got a bunch of like really cool cars in the shop here right now. And I actually just wanted to show you what they've got going on this motorcycle. So let's go take a closer look now. Now, taking a look at what all they're installing here on the bike, on the radar and laser side, we've got the ALP that's going to be installed for laser, and that's going to be hooked up to a Radenso RCM for radar. There's going to be a new stereo system as well. They've got some amps that they're putting in here. There's actually really tight tolerances here on this Harley, so that was actually pretty tricky. I'll show you some more with that in just a second. There's going to be some new speakers that are going to be installed, so one there and one there, as well as some other, they're going to be back here, kind of in the bag area. The CPUs for the radar and laser are going to be installed here back behind this left speaker. There's building a bracket for it right there. And then the controller and the display for the radar and laser is going to be installed right here in this area. There's a little cover that kind of pops up and down. And as far as the radar detector itself, you can actually see that installed right here. There's the antenna for the Radenso RCM. We've got two different amps here for the stereo system. This was actually really tight because the fairing kind of comes down like this. So it was a really tight squeeze to get it in here. They actually custom built some mounts for it here as well. So all this is custom to actually hold the two amps in place. They ensured the ventilation here is taken care of. They added some additional like screw threads here and for the brackets that they custom built for all this to connect to. Now the factory amp is still installed here in the bike. It's actually going to be installed right here behind this right speaker. And then these two additional add-on amps are going to be there just to add the additional power that's needed for the extra speakers that are going on back there. There's also a lot of attention to detail that I really like. So things like the cables here, this comes up, it would actually stick up a little bit too high to where they couldn't actually close the fairing. And so there's a little notch that's built in right there to allow the cables to run through. Additionally, you're gonna see some tape here wrapped around there and there so they don't have issues over time with the cables actually getting cut by this metal bracket. There's also similar stuff going on over here. So like we've got a power distribution box right over there, and some of these power cables may actually wind up pressing against some of the metal brackets in the bike. And because with motorcycles there's so much vibration, they want to make sure that nothing winds up getting like damaged. There's no shorts in the cable over time, so they've got some like cables are wrapped. You can see here's the standard cables, what they look like. Here's where they're going to be custom cutting the cables to make sure everything is fit to length, again because the tolerances here are so tight. And then up on top we've got the GPS for the bike as well as the GPS for the ALP and the Radenso RCM. You can see the connectors here for the two front laser jammers, which I'll show you how those are going to be installed here in just a second. Now as far as the front laser jammers, we've got the front fairing right here, and on top of the fairing there's actually this air vent like this. We actually just flipped it over so we could see the inside, because this is where the laser jammer housings are going to go. And the housings look like this. It's basically all custom designed. All the angles and everything are specifically designed to fit the angles of the fairing, and then the heads are going to be nice and straight and level like this. And they're eventually going to go right into the air vent here like this. You can see we've got one right there and then a second one over here on that side. Here's the view of the rear, and you can see they're actually installed right here by the jig just to ensure that everything is nice and straight. And what's nice is you can see there's these little cutouts here on this side where they're going to be putting like the black acrylic. So once it's all installed and in place, you're not actually going to be able to see the laser jammers from the outside at all. And to manufacture those laser jammer holders, this is the 3D printer. It's not a traditional 3D printer where it like kind of prints little by little. It's actually using this special resin that then they use UV light to cure each layer of resin as the 3D printer applies it. And because, again, it's a motorcycle, there's not a lot of space here. We've got like the factory cables that are running right there, and you can see the extra cables that they've been adding right there, all nicely wrapped, protected, and zip tied to keep everything nice and safe. And the same for the other side of the bike as well. So we've got cables running here for power and ground. We've got some USB update cables. So you can see down here, there's going to be 3 different cables to update the different components. Right now they're labeled here like this temporarily, but for the permanent install, they're actually going to be labeling the heat shrink directly to make sure that we've got nice permanent labels for all the USB update cables. And then all the cables are going to be accessible right here on the side. There's a plastic panel that's really easy to pop off. You can see we've actually got a battery tender that's plugged in right here. All the update cables are going to be right there too. There's also some additional cables for the speakers. So there's going to be quick release connectors like this that they're going to attach to actually connect the speakers right here to the side of the bike. And if you take a look at the saddlebags themselves, where the speakers are going to go, they custom built these special holders here for the speakers like that. And if you take a look on the other side, kind of like facing the driver, you can see they've got these custom mesh cutouts right there where the audio is going to be able to pass right on through. And on the very back of the bike, they've actually got these custom housings right here. These are going to be for the rear laser jammers. Now, this is pretty cool. All 3D printed, custom designed here for the bike, so you wouldn't even notice it just looking at it directly. But you can see they've got the acrylic part right there to allow the laser light to go in from the police officer's laser gun, and then, of course, transmit back out for the jamming capability. And then, of course, to connect those rear laser jammers, we've got some quick release connectors right here under the seat. The speaker for the system is actually right under there. And what's cool is they actually wrapped it in this special foam that's going to protect it from heat. And that's going to be particularly important because the speaker right there is actually really close to the motor for the bike right there. And so as you can see, there's a lot of really cool custom work that's being done here. It's like the opposite end of the spectrum of just taking some countermeasures and like double stick tape and slapping them onto the bike, right? Like there's a lot of work here as far as where the cables are run, how things are maintained as far as reliability over time to ensure that things keep working, accounting for things like heat, making sure the laser jammers are aimed like nice and straight and level, especially once you got everything in place. And so one thing that I really love about these higher end installs is just the attention to detail and the extra care and capability that they can do on something like this. This is actually the place that I'm going to do the latest upgrade for my car. It's why I'm here at the shop. So if you want to check them out, I'll put a link in the video description to their website here at Systems Unlimited. But this one is particularly cool. I know I've done a number of videos going over different cars and whatnot, but we don't take a look at motorcycles as often. And so I just wanted to do a quick video to point out this. And so, yeah, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for the video going over the full upgrade to my car, getting all the latest and greatest countermeasures installed for testing. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys in the next one.